Hi everyone, Divine here to bring you another merchanting review for merch.com. This time I'll explain about Bonus XP Weekend, or Double XP Weekend as it was called this time. I hope you all had lots of fun getting your levels up, and there are plenty of good guides to train for that on YouTube. I'm also sure plenty of you made investments to make money on supplies that rose for this weekend, but that is just one way to merchant for it. What if I told you there are actually 4 ways to merchant for a Bonus XP Weekend? I'll explain more about that later in this video. Because first I'd like to tell you all that by watching this video you can actually win a free month of merch membership. More about that will be later in this video. You'll just have to watch it and you'll find out how it works. Now on the 11th October we first heard about this update and everyone was really surprised, as Jagex said they would not do Bonus XP Weekends the way they had been doing them anymore. They put emphasis on them announcing that to prevent people who are stocking up to make profit. So for once a lot of supplies weren't pre-stocked, which gave very interesting results. It was a bit of a strange lie though, because it cost a lot of people a lot of money and they did Bonus XP Weekend anyways in the end. But this was nowhere near as strange as them saying they would never make summoning over 10% bonus XP again, because of the way it works with most time going into gathering charms. And they still made it ×2 double XP, and a lot of players are upset about this, because imagine just having used your charms because you don't expect any chance to get double XP out of them anymore, and then Jagex suddenly being like, oh hey guys, here, make your double XP pouches. Yeah, we're used to the reliability by now. It's really a sad story, to be honest. Now before explaining you these various merchanting methods, I'll show you my sad story. I didn't completely buy the whole no more bonus XP weekend announcement, and that combined with the fact that Jagex was talking so big about banning all the bots, I decided to try something out by investing in unicorn horns. I stocked them on 2 accounts as you can see and bought just over 1 bill worth. Now, after a week or so there was still no result from their big talking and the behind the scenes showed nothing either. So I started selling them, as you can see in the first sale picture. And then suddenly on the 11th Jagex comes up with a bonus XP weekend. And there goes me relying on Jagex saying they would not do more than 10% bonus on summoning anymore. So I sold mine off at about 1.3k each and I made something like 200 mil in the end. And after I was done selling, Jagex was suddenly like, oh guys, summoning is ×2 XP too. And then I quickly watched them rise at 3k each, and at the end of the weekend I price checked them and I get the last picture. Now I literally face desked, I think. To be safe, I wouldn't have been able to sell all of them for 9k each or something, but I could probably have sold my whole stock for 3 to 5k each or something, so I missed out on at least 2 to 4 bill profit. Thanks a lot, Jagex. Now this was an example of the first and most commonly known merchanting method, investing in supplies because people will want them to train for bonus XP weekend. Basically, raw materials are what you're after here, and you can read some of the examples in the video here. I can also show you guys lots of examples of graphs for this, like our live graphs for Quorum here. But I'm sure you all get the idea of these. They rise partly because people want them to train, and partly because of the massive merchanting hype about them. So I decided to pick out a bit more of an interesting example, which is magic seeds. As you can see here, right at the bonus XP weekend announcement, they already take a nice small rise, and after that they rise quite gradually. And then, as you can see here, right before the weekend they take a big jump, and at this point all the peaks are timed exactly with the tree runs. So all the trees grow after a certain time, and as you can see here they peaked at 430k each, which is over double their original price. And as you can see here in the end, like, this is the last point at which people can still plant their trees. After that they no longer need the seeds, so they crash in price. Now another very interesting example I just had to include are magic logs. As you can see here around the bonus XP announcement, they didn't do anything, they just remained stable the whole time. And then right as bonus XP weekend starts, they fly up like 400 each, which is really impressive because it's pretty hard to find items like these, but there are still items that haven't risen by the time bonus XP weekend starts, so it's all about finding the right item, even if you are late to invest. And then one more example to show you guys how extreme it can be. As you can see here, right before the announcement, they were still pretty low, and then suddenly they shoot up like 50% in price, which is pretty extreme. And after that they just ride out a few waves towards the bonus XP weekend, and then before the first day, like here, everyone's stocked up on their planks who wants to train, and after that they crash back down and go back up for the second day. And after that, as you can see, they shoot back down to pretty much their original price in no time. So it's extreme both in rising and in crashing. Now enough about that, let's get on to the second method. I'm pretty sure most people don't think of this one, and it is particularly useful for people who weren't lucky enough to be online at the time they announced the weekend. Basically, a lot of people are going to wait with making certain finished products until bonus XP weekend is there, to get the most XP out of their supplies. I'm talking about stuff like pouches and potions, and this means that in the meantime, up until the weekend, people will still be needing these supplies for stuff like bossing, but there will be very few people in return to make these until the weekend is there. So this causes these items to rise slightly in the meantime, and if you find the right items, you can make pretty good profit this way. Let's check out some examples. Now the first one I wanted to show is Spirit Kiat Pouch. As you can see here, pretty stable up until the actual bonus XP weekend announcement. And there they only make a small jump really. By the way, I think this item also fits into the first category because it's also sort of a supply which people need to train summoning. But on the other hand, nobody will be making these pouches until the weekend is there because they want to save their blue charms. Now, as you can see around here, this is when they announced that summoning will be double XP too, and you can see how they just shoot up so badly. And yeah, that's pretty insane. It pretty much just proves my point earlier. Nobody really expected it to be that way. And after that, they are pretty stable here until the weekend itself. There they rise to pretty nice prices. They're around 28k each here, and they also had a pretty massive peak up there. Now let me just zoom in on the graph here a bit. Looks sort of different. Let me see. Yeah, that's a bit better. So here you can see how they were around 40 to 44k each for what looks to be about an hour. And then they even peaked at 88k each. And then right after that, people start selling their first pouches that they made for the massive prices that they're at. And there they crash back down to pretty low prices. Now, as you can see, I did these myself too. It was quite a pain to sell them because people literally only need 2 to 3 at a time, and that's why they sold a little bit slow, but still a nice 90 mil profit or so. And now I'd like to show you all a good example. We have the Saradomin brew flask here, the live graph. We don't have the one for the actual potion, we only have it for the flask because it's more interesting. But as you can see here, this is around the point where bonus XP weekend gets announced. And ever from that point on, they rise quite nicely to about 18k each. Now, this pretty much confirms what I said earlier. Because Saradomin brew flasks have nothing to do with bonus XP weekend, you don't need them for anything. It's purely people no longer making these brews until the bonus XP weekend is there. And as you can see here, at the point where bonus XP weekend is around, they crashed back down to the previous prices. Now I decided to do a little comparison for fun. As you can see here, this is the graph Jagex gives you. Yeah, what should I say about it? That it's bad, I guess. You can literally read nothing on it. Yeah, I think most people prefer the old graphs more. As you can see, there's not much to read on there. Now this is our regular Grand Exchange graph on merch. It's the same as Jagex has really, but you can actually read stuff on there and you can put your own averages on it and things like that, which makes it a whole lot more useful. And you can choose exactly from which date till which date you want to see it, and you have the limit at the top right. And this is really, like here you can see the averages added to it. And this just really shows how much more useful it can be, but Jagex is not making it. And now onto our life graph. If you compare that to it, you have the life prices every moment of the day right on there. And you can also put the averages on here. It shows the last time it was updated on the top right, and the limit right next to that. And this just pretty much shows how much potential graphs can have and what Jagex is not making on them. So you have this one here, RuneScape, regular merch, merch live. I think it's a big comparison and should show you why these things are so good. Because you can just pretty much literally see the margins of an item at any time of the day. Now if you overlay these graphs, they are really similar in shape, but if you notice during the day they have so many waves, and merch really shows you when these happen and when the best moment to invest is. Now on to the third method, which is overflowing supply investments, but also flips. Basically, the items you will be targeting here are finished products, so stuff people made during the bonus XP weekend, and they all want to get rid of it during the weekend, but also right after, because they pretty much finished making all their stuff. Now this will result in prices crashing deep on a lot of items, and basically going below the average prices these items usually have. This makes for really easy investments and really volatile prices and margins. So it's really good for flipping and investing if you know what you're doing. Now, of course, this will not be extremely profitable if you only try it on one item. It's much more effective if you buy limits on a bunch of items that have crashed, and then you will make a bit of profit on all of them. Now, the first example I wanted to show you guys is the water toise pouch. Now, just to come back to method number 2, these rose from about 8 to 9k each, just because people would no longer make them until the bonus XP weekend was there. I did these myself too, but I'm not going to show them here. You guys get the idea of my investments. Yeah, this is like right before the bonus XP weekend, and then right when it is announced, crash to about 7.4k each, and their usual price has been around 8k each or so, which is pretty much 600 each profit if you can sell them for 8k each. Now to quickly come back at the sourdough and brew flask, as you can see here, right after the bonus XP weekend starts, they crash down from about 17k to 13 to 14k each, and this is a pretty deep crash for an item like that. And this is all because everyone's done making their potions or just started, and they want to sell them while they're still high. Now let me just zoom in a bit here and put an average on it. Yeah, this is good. Now, as you can see, about here they're 14.7k each, and around here they're still in the low 13ks. And as you can see here, these 2k margins on the flasks. Like I said earlier, flipping can be really good for them, and you can see this return in pretty much all items. As you can see here, Super Restore flasks were still high at first, because people actually needed them for bossing, and nobody was making them. And then right when the bonus XP weekend starts, they crash down to a pretty low price, and after that rise back up with really nice margins for flipping too. So you can see this return on all similar items, and yeah, if you do a bunch of these, you can make some great profit too. And we are finally there at the last method, which is the I want my stuff back investments. Examples of this are discontinued items and high-level armor, because people generally want to buy these back after they sold their investments or after the weekend or whatever. And these all tend to have the same patterns. I would have loved to include next gear, but we don't have live graphs for those yet. Hopefully we will in the future, but for now I'll just start by showing you with Armadillo Battle Staffs. As you can see here, bonus XP weekend is announced, and they go from about 13 to 11.4 mil. It's a pretty deep crash, and after that they're pretty stable for a while, and they have some rises here and there, but they gradually decrease after that. And this is just really an example of people replacing their gear for bonus XP weekend investments. Now here, at the time where the weekend just about ends, you can see a big rise, and after that an even bigger rise, just because people are buying back their stuff. And here, wow, a 1.4 mil margin on Armadillo Battle Staffs, it's pretty massive. On to the next example, party hats. Now party hats all did the same, really crash when bonus XP weekend was announced, and after that they rose gradually and had some crashes here and there, which all are pretty much relied on the fact if people were buying investments or selling them. You can see them going up and down here. For those that didn't know yet, we provide these prices too for all rares, and it's really, really useful for flipping and for short-term investing. Yeah, as you can see here, bonus XP weekend over, and they make their last rise because people are definitely buying them back. As you can see here, 988, and right before that about 958. Now you can overlay all the graphs of party hats, and they all show pretty much the same pattern for this. Now there are many more things I could tell you about these crafts, but that's maybe for another video. So let's get on to our giveaway, free month of Merch VIP. All you have to do is subscribe to our channel and you will be put into a giveaway, like a random lottery, the same way we do our weekly lotteries. Or you have to share this video on another forum or website and link us to it, so we can see if you actually put it there. And you will be added to the lottery as well. Now, if you already are a VIP, your prize will be 30 mil cash, because it would be unfair if you wouldn't win anything. Do keep in mind that if you choose to share the video, you can get up to 3 entries into the lottery if you both subscribe and share the video. But if you plan to share it, make sure it's in an appropriate forum, so don't spam it anywhere, because we won't be accepting that, and we will review each case separately. Now, the actual giveaway will be drawn in the month after this video, and we hope the person who wins makes good use of it. Don't hesitate to leave any comments on our video. Let us know what you thought about it, if there's anything we can improve, or if there's any kind of video you would like to see in the future. You can also follow us on Facebook. We post regular updates on there on our progress. Or you can check out our free trial on our website to see if it's anything for you. Anyways, I hope you all liked the video and that you got some new insights on how to invest for a bonus XP weekend or similar updates. I'm not sure what the next video will be, because behind the scenes didn't really seem that amazing, but we'll see. There might just be something there soon. Take care, guys.